It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to the Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast. On this, the 14th day of February 2025, coming to you from someplace getting close to Miami now. We're probably within 400 miles of Miami. We get into Miami tomorrow morning. Of course, today's show is brought to you by Scoot Around and by chilliescruises, actually by Will U.S., who owns Scoot Around and chilliescruises. First thing, an announcement, folks, right off the giddy up. The Wi-Fi signal has gone to absolute hell this morning. I have no confidence whatsoever that I'm going to get through the day without it screwing up totally. It's been just awful. Just letting you know that. We do have several stories this morning. The lead story is Royal Caribbean to sail from San Diego. I like sailing from San Diego. I like what Royal's going to be doing. Also today, the Sky Princess alters 2 cruises. A man jailed in a cruise scam. A Port Canaveral Taxi Scam. A passenger sues Royal Caribbean for $5 million. And a TUI crew member passes away of a heart attack. That and lots more live here at 11 o'clock today. All right, folks, today is National Cream-Filled Chocolates Day. Of course, most of you, at least in this country, realize that today is Valentine's Day. It just kind of goes hand in hand that it's also National Cream-Filled Chocolates Day. All right, this day in history, and this is kind of for Hot Air Tom. This day in history, George Washington Gale Ferris Jr., who was either born in 1859 or 1896, they're not sure which. He was an engineer and an inventor of the damn Ferris wheel. As far as I'm concerned, he should have been shot way back then. And I wouldn't have to hear Hot Air Tom telling me that I need to get on those damn things. Yeah, no, I don't. I refuse. He wanted me to go on that eye thing in London. Yeah, no. It's not going to happen. All right, if you listen to via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcast from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. All right, this is actually kind of a sad day for those of us that cruise a lot, but in particular, this cruise coming to an end. There goes the signal. Signal popped out, folks. It popped back in. I hope it popped back in. At any rate, guys, this has been a particularly moving, thank you, Tom, a cruise for me, getting a chance to sail with John, his cousin, Luann, has been just fantastic. Of course, Sonny, I've sailed with Sonny before, but we've really had a chance to be around each other a lot on this cruise and have fun together. I've had fun with Sonny every time I've been around her, but this was just, a special jump ahead as far as I'm concerned. And of course, Hot Air Tom and others that have been on this cruise. But it's been a particularly moving cruise for me. The cruise coming over was as well. Chris Time gives thumbs up. The Chris Conover was, and that was great to sell with Bonnie. That's always fun, and of course Gary Older Than Dirt. But this one, just by being around John after all these years of he and I working together without knowing each other, it's just been fabulous. So sorry to see it coming to an end. I did get some kind of bad news last night. I'm going home to 3 sick people. They've all got the crud at home, so Amanda even suggests, why don't you go to Jason's for a while? Well, because I've been gone for 2 months. I'm ready to come home for a few days. So I'm going into a little bit of unpleasant situation there, but I'll make the most of it. All right, need to get to the news, folks, which we'll do after a quick break from one of our fine network sponsors. All right, the signal just went out again and came back on. Folks, don't be alarmed. It sucks today. All right, we're going to start off the day out in San Diego. Big news for California cruisers. The most highly anticipated news of the itinerary releases is the unveiling of a brand new U.S. home port for Royal Caribbean in San Diego. That'll be starting in October of 2026. Serenade of the Seas will begin sailing from America's finest city, offering 3, 4, and 7-night itineraries for the winter 26-27 season. These voyages will explore throughout the Mexican Riviera, offering fantastic port visits to Cabo San Lucas, Ensenada, and more. Of special interest are sailings visiting La Paz, a brand new port destination for the cruise line, at which Serenade of the Seas will be enjoying a very special inaugural call and celebration. Guests sailing from Los Angeles will have 4 ships to choose from in 2026-2027, with itineraries ranging from 3 to 8-night adventures. For weekend getaways filled with the vibrancy of Mexico and the dazzle of Royal Caribbean, Quantum of the Seas will be delivering summer 3 and 4-night itineraries to Catalina Island and Ensenada. Select longer 7-night sailings will also include overnight visits to Cabo. Ovation of the Seas will likewise offer a diverse season of 3, 4, and 7-night sailing options from Los Angeles during the winter season of 2026-2027. Shorter cruises will visit Catalina and Ensenada, while longer sailings will also overnight in Cabo, providing guests with more time to admire and explore that destination. For more immersive explorations into the different ports of the Mexican Riviera, sister ships Navigator of the Seas and Voyager of the Seas are offering expanded itineraries in the region. That, of course, will include Mazatlan and Puerto Vallarta. A 14-day Mediterranean adventure sailing departing on October the 10th, 2026, has changed to a 14-day search for the Northern Lights voyage. The ship will now sail round trip from Southampton and call on Trondheim, Tromsø, Alta, Molde, and Ålesund in Norway, all fascinating ports where the aurora borealis is often seen, but a far cry from the balmy Mediterranean in early autumn. The second impacted cruise, a 12-day Canary Islands itinerary departing on October 24th, 2026, has been changed to a 12-day European capital sailing. No Canary Island cruise aboard Sky Princess is currently shown on the cruise line's website, but port calls for the Sun destination typically include Santa Cruz de Tenerife, Las Palmas, Arrecife, Santa Cruz de la Palma, and Puerto del Rosario. The revised voyage round trip from Southampton will call on Hamburg, Copenhagen, Skagen, Oslo, Rotterdam, Zeebrugge, and Le Havre. So, 2 major changes on 2 cruises. Wow.
Experience Alaska at an affordable rate. VR1 balconies are only $1,289, including taxes and port charges. MSC Poesia sails from Seattle, May 25th, 2026. Book now. Call 434-258-9264 or go to bit.ly/PoesiaAlaska1.
Richard Lester, a 56-year-old from Luton, England, has been sentenced to 5 years in prison after being convicted of operating a Ponzi scheme that defrauded over 180 would-be cruisers out of more than 400,000 euros. The verdict from Judge Alexander Mills of Chelmsford Crown Court in Essex on February the 11th comes after a 9-week trial in which Lester was found guilty of fraudulent trading and money laundering. The sentencing followed a 10-year investigation by the Essex Police after a tip-off from the UK's National Fraud Investigative Bureau. The NFIB had received numerous reports from passengers across the UK, US, Australia, Canada, Japan, Germany, and New Zealand who were never able to cruise despite spending thousands of dollars. Unfortunately, a first-time cruiser fell victim to a somewhat common taxi service scam. The couple had just disembarked from Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas when the tale unfolded. As they chose to carry their own luggage off the Oasis-class ship, they found themselves on dry land well ahead of their previously scheduled Uber pickup that was set for 8:30 a.m. This is when the scammer saw an opportunity and approached the couple to ask if they needed a ride. As pre-scheduled Uber rides can be canceled up to an hour before they are supposed to start, the duo took him up on the opportunity. However, the man took the pair to a nice black Jeep that clearly was not a taxi. It wasn't until the luggage and couple were loaded into the car with the destination plugged into GPS that the novice cruisers realized something was amiss. The man and his partner were bound for Universal Studios Orlando to continue their vacation, which is about 58 miles away from Port Canaveral. Per the passenger's calculation, the trip should have cost a maximum of $120, with Uber giving them a price of $106.95. The black Jeep driver only wanted $345 for the same trip.
Cruise around the world with the Will Model C2. Cruise around the world with the Will Model C2. That's the chair that I use. Our chairs will easily fit through accessible cabin doors and can navigate those tight spaces and crowded places. To see if Will may be right for you, click on the link below to schedule a test drive. Just tell them to use code CHILLIE for all your mobility needs. That's scootaroundstore.com.
A female cruise passenger from Colorado is suing. Royal Caribbean for more than $5 million, claiming she suffered life-altering injuries when its tour guide's jet ski crashed into hers during a guided excursion at Perfect Day at Coco Cay in the Bahamas. According to the lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida, the plaintiff participated in a guided ski tour while visiting Coco Cay on December 20th, 2024. Despite Royal Caribbean advertising the excursion as safe for beginners, the guest alleges that the company was negligent in training and supervising excursion staff. As a result, the passenger suffered 4 traumatic spinal injuries, fractures actually, multiple contusions, and permanent injuries. The complaint claims that Royal Caribbean's failure to prioritize guest safety put her in harm's way. Now, have to watch this one. This one might cost Royal Caribbean. A 37-year-old crew member from Bangladesh has died of a heart attack aboard a TUI cruise ship while it was docked in Trieste, Italy. This is according to Italian media reports. The incident occurred during the night of February 13th, with emergency medical service responding after the ship's onboard medical team initially provided first aid. However, despite their efforts, the crew member, who worked as a cleaner, could not be saved. With the specific vessel was not mentioned in local reports, ship tracking data indicates that only TUI Cruises Trieste at the time was the mine ship Relax, the new ship. The ship, recently delivered to TUI Cruises, has not yet begun passenger sailings and is expected to welcome its first guests in early March. Our thoughts are with the family and friends of the crew member who passed away. If you've got a vacation booked for Anaheim or Disneyland in the coming months, we've got you covered. For a limited time, you can save big on mobility equipment rentals throughout the city, including scooters, wheelchairs, power chairs, and more. Explore the theme parks and surrounding areas with ease in a scooter-round rental. Anaheim and LA mobility rentals are 15% off until February 28, 2025. Just call Scooter-Round, powered by Will, toll-free at 1-888-441-7575 or reserve online. Use SRN 11137 for the best rates. That's Scooter-Round. All right, that's going to put an end to the news portion of today's show. Let's jump over and see who's in the chat room. If anybody is, I don't even know today. There's Mustafa. Says nice. Thank you very much. Good morning from the Norwegian Bliss. We are in sync with Eastern Time. Chillie and the show are now 1 at 11. Yes, we are. We're back to normal time for the first time in 6 weeks. The internet is very crappy this morning, so it's anyone's guess on how this will go. I agree. There's Gary Older Than Dirt. Hi, Gary. Says good morning to everybody. Kenneth's with us. They have Starlink, don't they? Chillie, that's surprising. I've had Starlink on multiple ships that was way better than this. Yes, I agree, Kenneth. It's surprising. It's just at times it sucks, and this is one of them. It keeps blinking on and off. So there's Mike. Hey, Mike, how's it going, my friend? Katie's with us this morning. Says happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Let everyone know that you love and appreciate them. I agree. And I see it clicked off again and popped back on. That's what it does. And they claim, you go down and talk to these yahoos and they claim, oh, it's everybody's is fine. It's got to be your phone. Yeah, no, it's not. Joanne says, we'll catch the repeat. Got to keep an eye on the Eagles Super Bowl parade. Well, I can appreciate that. Bob's with us. Says good morning and happy Valentine's Day. Thanks, Bob. Hit the thumbs up, folks. Only 2 so far. Thank you, Mike. I do appreciate that. Yeah, smash that thumbs up button, guys. Todd's with us. Good morning, Todd. Kenneth says, hey, Tom, how's the temperature on the balcony today? Getting close to Miami. Must be nice. I can say that, yeah, there's been a couple times where the balcony door has gone open and I haven't frozen. So it's definitely an improvement. Very nice out there, Hot Air Tom says. I agree. There's Anita says very nice and good. Thank you, Anita. Kenneth says, I'm so ready to go down to Miami for a week to warm up. Katie says, we can still hear you. Okay, that's good to know. Just so the signal's going out, but the audio stays on. Weird. What a great trip. I enjoyed all the stories. Well, for sure. That's just the way I do things. But anyway, yeah, there's been some great stories on this one. And even more that you'll hear about in the future. So, Todd, it has really been a good cruise. This has been a good 6 weeks. I'm tired. I don't mind admitting that. I'm ready to get home, even though I'm going into a nasty situation with everybody sick. But still, yeah, it's been a good one. I'm ready for a little break. Of course, we go again on March 31st. We're going to go up to New York, and we're going to get on the Epic, and we're going to take it to Rome. From Rome, we go over to Barcelona and do a 9-day round tripper in the Mediterranean from Barcelona, which includes going back to Rome. So, but anyway, that one's coming up. I do have to fly home on that one, so I will have done, these 2 transatlantics on the Bliss, a transatlantic on the Epic, before I have to get on an airplane to fly home. So that'll be awesome. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for this trip. Who knows? I could very well pop up with a live. You can be sure there'll be something amiss as we take the train back to Richmond. So we'll definitely be doing some lives from that. Might still do a pop-up live here today as I'm out and about on the last day of the cruise. Who knows? All right, guys. That's going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for following the exploits for this whole trip. I'll be back Monday in studio for a change. That'll be the first time in a long time I'm in the studio. But we'll get back to normal here for about a month and go again. So, all right, guys. That's it for today. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great day and a great weekend, everybody. And I'll see you sometime during the weekend and back again in studio on Monday. Thanks, y'all. See you next time.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.